In our last video, we made the classic Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, and today we're making all of the sauces at home because you asked us. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Seasoning. I am your host, Farnum, and I saw on the last video how obsessed you guys are with Chick-fil-A and these 7 dipping sauces. So I got an idea. I was like, well, they like the Chick-fil-A sauce, so why not make the other 6 here at home? So that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna show you how to make all of these with fresh ingredients, no preservatives, no syrups, no gums, none of that. We're just gonna make them easy. We'll make them quick. Before we jump into that, please scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below and let me know what dipping sauce is your favorite. Without any further ado, let's start with the Chick-fil-A sauce. The ingredients for your Chick-fil-A sauce are gonna be Duke's mayo, Dijon mustard, yellow mustard, barbecue sauce, honey, a lemon, garlic powder, and smoked paprika. Everybody loves the classic Chick-fil-A sauce, so let's start with half a cup of mayo, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 2 teaspoons of yellow mustard, 2 teaspoons of a nice smoky barbecue sauce. Next, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And now we mix. All right, let's go in for a little quick taste test. Here we go. As you can see, it is almost exactly the same color, like the same consistency, everything. Let's give it a taste. Right off the bat, the only thing this says to me is, hi, welcome to Chick-fil-A. Can I take your order? This shit is gas. I want you guys to remember something though. When we make these sauces, whenever we use a dry ingredient, like a smoked paprika or a garlic powder, the longer that we let this sauce sit, the more these spices and herbs are gonna rehydrate and their flavors will come out. So this is amazing right now, but if I put it in the fridge for an hour, it'll taste even better in an hour. Just keep that in mind. It's time to hit the Polynesian sauce. Let's hit the ingredients. The ingredients for your Polynesian sauce are gonna be Catalina salad dressing, apple cider vinegar, honey, smoked paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder. Everybody loves the Polynesian sauce on the fries and on the chicken. This one is like 95% almost identical. It's actually a little more flavorful, which I personally like. So we're gonna start with half a cup of our Catalina salad dressing, 1.5 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Next, we have 3 tablespoons of honey, an 1/8 teaspoon of smoked paprika, an 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of onion powder, and we mix. All right, let's do our taste test real quick. Here we go. Damn, that's really good. It's very close. Again, we have to let all of those spices kind of rehydrate in order to get the full power of what's going on in this sauce. But I will say the Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A, it kind of has this like deeper spice to it, and I can't really tell because on the ingredients it's not there. So this does have a little bit more sweetness to it. If you like a little bit more heat, I would say add an 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne or something to this just to like bump it up to the next level, but it's close, it's fire, and I will be dipping my chicken in this. Let's go to the ingredients for the honey mustard. The ingredients for the honey mustard are mayo, yellow mustard, Dijon mustard, honey, white distilled vinegar, and barbecue sauce. The honey mustard sauce, a fan favorite from Chick-fil-A. This literally tastes like regular honey mustard with like a little bit of smokiness to it or a little bit of barbecue sauce. So we're gonna start with half a cup of mayo, half a teaspoon of yellow mustard, half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of white distilled vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce. And now we mix. All right, so I went to go do a taste test and I wasn't satisfied. It was not close enough. I think I wrote the wrong measurements down. So I ended up adding 3 more teaspoons of honey, half a teaspoon more of the white distilled vinegar, and another half a teaspoon of yellow mustard. And now this is almost identical in taste. Here we go. Come on, it's a W, let's go. Next, we got the ingredients for the sweet and spicy Sriracha. The ingredients for the sweet and spicy Sriracha sauce are Mayploy sweet chili sauce, Sriracha sauce, light soy sauce, rice vinegar, and water. Sweet and spicy Sriracha, one of my favorites. It's got heat, it's got depth, and it's relatively new. So we're gonna make this and we're gonna start with 5 tablespoons of our Mayploy sweet chili sauce, 2 teaspoons of Sriracha, 1 teaspoon of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar. All right, we're swapping out the water for 1 teaspoon of honey, and we mix. All right, Sriracha, taste test time. Identical, that is identical. The honey definitely helped balance out a little bit of that heat. bring a little more thickness into it. This is the recipe you need to follow to make this sauce at home. Next, let's hit the ingredients for the garden herb ranch. The ingredients for the garden herb ranch are mayo, buttermilk, sour cream, green onion, chives, fresh garlic, dried minced onions, dried parsley, dried dill weed, garlic powder, and onion powder. The garden herb ranch, a very specific ranch flavor with this, and what you're mainly tasting in this is a lot of buttermilk. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use my ranch recipe, and we're just gonna double up on the buttermilk buttermilk portion, and that should get us very close to this. Now the consistency might not be the same. Again, we don't have preservatives and gums and syrups that are in our ranch, but I think we can get that flavor very close. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of mayo. Okay, that was supposed to be half a cup of mayo, just so you know. And now we're gonna do half a cup of sour cream. Now we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of buttermilk. Next, we're gonna add 5 or 6 thinly sliced chives. Next, we're gonna thinly slice and press half a sprig of a green onion. Next, we're going to finally grate in 1 small clove of garlic. If you got a big clove, cut it in half. Half a teaspoon of dry dill weed, half a teaspoon of dried parsley, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of dried minced onions, a 1/4 teaspoon of some cracked pepper, and a nice pinch of kosher salt. And we mix. So I taste tested mine versus Chick-fil-A's just to make sure we were on the same page, and I ended up adding about a 1/4 cup more of buttermilk to my ranch. Not only did it loosen it up and get the texture more similar, but it gave that tangy, almost zesty bite that the Chick-fil-A ranch has. So again, we wanna let this sit in the fridge for a few hours, let all those dried herbs come alive, rehydrate, and this thing will taste incredible within a few hours. I promise. Next, let's hit the Zesty Buffalo ingredients. The ingredients for the Zesty Buffalo sauce are Frank's Red Hot Sauce, white distilled vinegar, what the f sauce, unsalted butter, and garlic powder. All right, so Chick-fil-A's buffalo sauce is definitely a lot more mellowed out than mine is. So all I'm gonna do is do my same recipe, except I'm just gonna add more butter to just kind of flatten things out and smooth them out a bit. So I've got a 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter in here that's fully melted. And now I'm just gonna add a 1/2 cup of Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Now we're also gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of what the f sauce, a 1/4 teaspoon of white distilled vinegar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. All right, now we're gonna keep this on an extremely low heat. We really don't want this to come to a simmer because we don't want to break the fat in the butter. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix this with a silicone whisk until everything comes together and is nice and cohesive. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hit this taste test real quick. It's gonna be hot. I mean, it's an incredible buffalo sauce. Like, there's no denying that. I will say though, it is a lot more flavorful than the Chick-fil-A one. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this cool down, and then I'm gonna just mix it with a little bit of mayo to thicken it up a little bit like theirs is. And I think it'll also kind of help mellow things out just a little bit. At this point though, there's nothing else we can do other than look at the ingredients for their barbecue sauce. So you notice that we didn't go over the ingredients for the barbecue sauce, and that is because I am humble enough to admit that after days of trying to recreate this sauce, I could not get close enough to give you guys a recipe that I felt was a true copycat or an at-home version of this. There's a lot of ingredients that are in this that I'm not putting in my foods because they're like chemicals and compounds and different things like that that I just prefer not to eat. However, I do have a very bomb barbecue sauce for you guys. If you want that recipe, it is in my barbecue chicken pizza video. I'll link it in the cards up here. That barbecue sauce does not taste like Chick-fil-A's, but damn it, that slaps. That is an excellent barbecue sauce. I always have a bottle of it in my fridge. But yeah, like I said, this is the one that I could not get close enough to confidently put a video out with a recipe for it. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that. And I got one more thing to show you. And this right here is what I wanted you to see. This is a thing of beauty, just a little bit of creativeness, a little dedication and some research. And we were able to remake almost every single Chick-fil-A sauce here at home with fresh ingredients. And they all taste incredibly similar, almost identical in most cases. Hey, at this point, there's nothing left for me to say except if you're still watching, please scroll down, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below and let me know which Chick-fil-A sauce you are ride or die for. Me personally, it's the original, it's the classic, it's the OG, but everybody's got their own preference. I appreciate you guys watching. My name is Farnum, this is More Seasoning, and Chick-fil-A, cut the check, we out.